You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in.
Boy, I tell y'all what, and this thing gets more and more wild every single day. Now, even more wilder than what I could have imagined, because I came in here early yesterday, and I told you guys yesterday morning that I didn't know the cause of Nolan Wells' demise, and that I wanted to wait to see exactly what happened and what Ben Crump's investigators find in this investigation before I speak. But I said yesterday, if you guys were on my channel, that I know 17 and 18-year-olds can choose to make certain decisions in their life, good and bad. I was once that age, and I was, uh, peer pressured into making certain decisions sometimes. And I had to decide whether or not I was going to do this or do that. And so I had to decide to do the right thing. Um, and it paid off in my life. And I thank God for that. Tatum, you are playing a very dangerous game. And I'm going to say something to you, man. If you are not right, Tatum, boy, they're going to sue you so bad, man. If you are not right about the information that you have put out, I think last night, about what you were told from what you say are reliable sources, first of all, I'm already skeptical about this guy because he said some things on Fox News that I already know is BS. First of all, he said that the Nolan Wells family was trying to interject race into Mississippi in that time. You can't interject race into Mississippi because Mississippi been racist, Officer Tatum. It been racist. And I gave you plenty of examples of said racism. You tried to say that, oh yeah, over decades ago. No, no, no. Ain't no decades ago. Last night in the video I did, I gave you over 5 or 6 different cases in the last 10 years. Right there in Mississippi, Brandon Tatum, that dealt with racism. But you try to make it seem like Nolan Wells' family is coming down there and wrecking that peaceful area and interjecting race in that peaceful area, what I just showed your ass. And not only that, you still had the Raheem Carter situation that happened in 2022, all the way going through 2025. Right? Ben Crump came in, took that case. You gonna talk all that shit about Ben Crump, man. And Ben Crump came in, took that case, and proved that the detectives and the police officers in the department was wrong then. But you say, right, that he interjected and they're trying to interject race. No, sir, sorry, that don't work. Not on duty, sir. Not on duty. So you lied about that. The interjecting race thing, right? And you said some other diabolical things as well on the news, Fox News the other day, right? Where you just flat out put out a bunch of crap. And I'm gonna say something else you did, Tatum. Tatum, you said that, oh, I went down there and talked to everybody in the case. You talked to everybody except for Nolan's side. So how the hell could you have an impartial personal investigation if you talk to everybody except for Nolan's side? Meaning his family, his parents. So that's not impartial. You said that they're all good kids. And it's a good town down there, man. They was raised right. That's what you said, Tatum. How can you say this, Tatum, if you don't know those kids? You talked to them for one time, Tatum. Once. But you came out and you said, oh, they all good kids, man. They wouldn't do nothing to hurt Nolan. They love Nolan. You a goddamn liar, and I'm going to prove it to you. How would you, first of all, how would you know those kids? Tommy, what's up, man? Salute. How would you know those kids, Tatum? And who they really are from talking to them one time? Who knows kids or people talking to them once or twice? Who knows it? Who knows, Tatum? I need you to answer that question, Tatum. Anybody with a sound mind can never say, oh, I know a kid, I know their personality, I know they good kid from talking to them twice. Sorry, don't work like that. Because a serial killer could talk to you one time, Tatum, and you think that they are a good person, Tatum. But in real life, they're a bad person. But if they talk to you one or two times and you don't know nothing about their history or their past or what they currently do, right? You will come away from a conversation saying, oh man, they're such a good person. Meanwhile, it's a serial killer. This is why I tell the other side and everybody else, stop judging people that you don't know. Because the facts haven't came out last night. But Tatum, this is why I challenge you to a debate personally. And if you hear this, I hope that you bring your ass, because I want all the smoke, because you lied about a lot of things, sir. So I openly challenge you to a debate. But Tatum, I want to say this to you. See, you exposed your lies, Tatum, when you said they're all good people. They all was Nolan's friends. They no. But then I got this, Tatum. I got that you said something else later on yesterday, right? Now, you remember yesterday morning I told y'all when I came in here, I said, bro, I'm not going to prejudge this thing because I need to see all the evidence from Ben Crump's team. I need to wait till the toxicology comes out because I know how 18-year-olds go. You know, you slide off with a chick, you drinking, you never know who's giving what out there. Y'all already know how I get down this era. They talk about this shit every day. I told y'all, can't even tell them what day it is. I'm doing this. I had that Addy keep me on my feet. All that shit. I've been told y'all this stuff. You're dealing with 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds. What the hell you think is going on? Right? That's what I said, right? Without implying that that was the cause, I said that could have been something that was going on. Because you got all those people down there, anything could happen. But Tatum, you said that I talked to all of them. They're all his friends. Tatum. Well, let's get to this, Tatum. Right? If they're all his friends, Tatum, and you said last night this. This is what you said, Tatum. Brandon Tatum, a YouTuber, former police officer, has said that he learned from a reliable source that heavy drinking and cocaine allegedly played a role in Nolan Wells' death. He also stressed that the toxicology results will prove those claims are true. And this is why I did say we should wait till with Ben Crump and the toxicology and that stuff comes back. But let's finish reading what else it says. But people are messaging me and telling me that there is heavy drinking and that there is cocaine involved. And there's a particular person, I know the person's name, I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first, and then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere with the investigation. But this person was allegedly offering people cocaine, Tatum said in a video shared on X. He added that in some close to Nolan, one of his friends told me that this person was offering cocaine and rejected it from this person. And I was told, and this person told me that over 100% chance Nolan was using cocaine during this time, this period of time. This person said it was 150% sure that when the toxicology comes back, that Nolan will have cocaine in his system. Tatum, if what your statement is true, those aren't his friends. If what you said right now, Tatum, what you said, Tatum, could be true. It could be true, right? Kids, that type of activity. Hey, Tatum, what you said right there, it could be true, but it would expose everything else you said when you sat up there and lied with a straight face and said, oh, they were all his friends. No, they ain't. Because if they were your friends, they would not let somebody give you something that could take your life. Those aren't friends, Tatum. And that's why I want to debate your ass one-on-one. I want all the smoke with you, boy. Because you put out multiple mischaracterizations and lies. And you try to say, oh, they're trying to interject race. See, Tatum, I'm going to tell you something, dog. Right, Tatum? I'm going to tell you something, dog. Right? The parents are sniffing around. Parents are sniffing around. And I'm going to say this to you, Tatum. To the person who said I talked about blacks, you're a liar. What are you talking about, dog? I said, let me repeat my stance one more time because I don't think people have understand plain English. I've said in my videos, and I'll say it again. And I'll say it a third time, and a fourth time, and a fifth time. I don't have a side in this as far as, oh, was he killed or did he accidentally die? Right? Because I have not seen the full evidence. I'm not going to do like these YouTubers are doing, jumping out here acting like they know what happened, and none of these motherfuckers was there. None of them are down there on the scene. None of them are doing investigations. It's just a bunch of weavy wonders coming out here lying about capping ass information that's not true. I've called it out on both sides. I've called it out on the side where everybody's trying to say, those white boys are murderers. And I've called it out on the side where Brandon Tatum has said, oh, they're great people. How does anybody know? Don't nobody know these people. You can't know a person from talking to them for five or one time or two times. That don't make you know a person. Brandon Tatum went on Fox News and said they are good kids and raised right. How the hell do he know this? And can he say this? But in the same sentence, he come out later on and say that he heard that somebody was giving these people hardcore down there. And that, oh, well, this is what I heard, that this person was giving this, and Nolan had, so Nolan was the only one down there that was on that, right, Tatum? Is that what you said? Because you said the other boy told you, no, we didn't take it. So if that's the case, and they're his friends, how would you let Nolan do it then? If they're his friends, why wouldn't they report to the cops? What happened? Off the top. It should have been an instant report to the cops. Hey, man, these guys down there trying to sell to my friend, man. Oh, this rabbit hole run deep, Tatum. Because Tatum, see, you may be onto a little bit of piece of something, but you may have opened up a whole deep can of worms, Tatum. Because Tatum, if what you said is true, who sent that boy down there to get them people that? Hmm. And Tatum, if what you said is true, is that boy black or white? Who did it? And Tatum, you sat up there and said, "Oh, I'll say the name if it doesn't interfere with the investigation." Nigga, you a cop, a former cop. You know it interferes with an investigation. You know it does. You know, Tatum, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. And you might not like what I say, but I'm gonna say this. Tatum, he's on to something, but I don't think he's completely right in what he's saying. And the reason why I say that is because Tatum has something to lose. Tatum, I did my research on him. He quit his police job to get into the YouTube media business. He's making a lot of money doing that. So he's made a lot of money doing this YouTube shit. Tatum is risking a lot. Matter of fact, Tatum is risking everything on what he said last night. That shit he said last night, he risking a lot. He risking losing everything if he's wrong. As far as the drugs, as he said, that was in Nolan Wells or would be proven to be in Nolan Wells' system. And my thing to Tatum is this. You said that they were all his friends. If that's the case, Nolan, or excuse me, Tatum, what friends? And let me say this again. What friends, Tatum? What friends? And I'm going to say this again to Tatum. What friends would give him that, Tatum? What friends would let your friends do a hardcore drug like that and then not even tell your parents? Not even tell us. See, you said different, and I'm talking about from the very beginning, Tatum. See, Tatum, when you revealed that, Tatum, and that's why I want to debate you one-on-one, Tatum, because when you revealed that, your ass wasn't thinking, boy. Because as soon as that boy came up and he did not show up that next day, and I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Tatum don't open up a whole can of worms because Tatum don't nail his words. He don't put his words to this now, y'all. He don't opened up a whole can of worms. And let me tell y'all why. Because now the FBI is involved. And the FBI has to go. Now let me put this out here to y'all. Because I want to tell y'all something. I'm very deep thinker. And I told y'all, I said I'm gonna wait on that toxicology to come back because I want to see what was in their systems. But you know what else I wanted to see? And I want to find out. You know, I'm starting to believe the pieces are starting to fit everybody. I'm starting to believe, because this is what I thought, but I never said it. But I'm going to tell you right now. Now it's starting to make a little bit of sense. See, the parents have sent out all of these different legal paperwork to everybody last night. I talked about this in my video last night. The parents must be on to something. But this may be deeper than just that day. Because last night in that paperwork I showed y'all, the parents said something that I saw, and I never forget what they said. And I want to show it to you right now. Oh, I want to show it to you right now. Please, Lord, let me have this up here. Please let me not have erased this, Lord. Please let me not have erased this right here. Right there on your screen. This is the parents. And read this right here, you guys. Read number 3. This is the letters that the parents, legal letters, subpoenas, legal letters that the parents have sent to everybody down there. Everybody. They want the facts and circumstances surrounding Nolan Wells' death and the events that occurred between July the 2nd through July the 6th. Hold on, but I thought Nolan Wells, the situation only was from the 4th. Why the 2nd? But then the parents also subpoenaed from all of the major media companies all of the files. They subpoenaed every file, deleted all of the kids' WhatsApps, everything. And I thought about it, Tatum. Tatum, you may have a bit or a piece correct, but your whole assessment may be wrong. And you said them boys was his friends when you don't know them boys because all you did was have one or two conversations with them. That don't qualify you to know a person. But Tatum, I believe the parents find out something. And this is the reason why I told everybody that audio on that boat, bullshit. This is why Ben Crump and them have not accepted it. And I told y'all yesterday, before it came out to the mainstream media news, I told y'all that Ben Crump's legal team have dismissed themselves from that bullshit ass audio that everybody was running around. Oh, this is the audio that's been enhanced. It's right. You're wrong. But read at the bottom of the screen what they did do. And I got evidence that they did it now. They subpoenaed Snapchat. They subpoenaed the corporate service to pull the true untampered metadata. They subpoenaed everybody now, WhatsApp, for all of the people, all of the kids, their parents, everybody involved. It's finna get ugly. And here's why I told y'all, the parents are finna have a major lawsuit. Ben Crump is finna get, I'm telling y'all this, July the 2nd through the 6th. Listen, y'all, follow me. If Tatum is saying that somebody out there gave Nolan Wells hardcore DRUGSs like Coca-Cola, just take the cola off and you know what I'm saying, right? Take that off and put "and" on the back of that. You know what I'm talking about. If he's saying that, who gave it to him? And here's the better question. Tatum, you said they're all his friends. Tatum, now I'm starting to understand what the parents are talking about when they say they believe messages were deleted. Because, Tatum, let's talk about something. That wouldn't be the only time you think that something like that could happen with 17, 18, 19-year-old kids, right? Nah, yeah. You think that's the only time? See, I think the parents want all the records so they can find out if what you're saying is true, Tatum. And I'm going to tell you, Tatum, I do believe somebody told you that. But you're not smart, Tatum, because you came out and said, well, those are his friends. No, they're not. Because if somebody came down there and offered that boy hardcore drugs and they let Nolan take that, those are not his friends, Tatum. And they're just as culpable, Tatum. Which is why I believe right now, Tatum, that the parents want all the deleted messages. See, I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't think Tatum was lying about that particular point. I think Tatum was lying about other points. The report says that Nolan Wells did not die from, they don't know how he died. It wasn't that he died from drowning. They don't know. It was inconclusive. That's the autopsy report that the family got. But the family did not have one thing. They didn't have the toxicology because the toxicology always takes weeks to come back. Always. And I told y'all this. I said, wait till Ben Crump and them come back because the toxicology report is going to tell you a whole lot. And let me say this. This shit finna get disgusting. I'm going to tell y'all why. Tatum lied about a lot of shit. He lied about the race in Mississippi. He lied about, oh, those are his friends. He don't know that shit. Just like we don't know if they weren't his friends. But I tell you one thing, Tatum. They couldn't be his friends if they knew that he was offered that and they didn't stop it. And then not only not stopping it, but Tatum, if that was the case, why wouldn't, if they was his friends, go tell his mama and his daddy the next day when he didn't come up home? But you sit up there and say, that's his friend. That ain't his friend. If dude didn't come home that night and they didn't see him the next day, he didn't even tell his parents. And his parents get the phone. And his shit deleted. Oh, this is about to get deep, boy. It's about to fucking get deep. Because that wouldn't be your friends. Now it makes sense to why they would have lawyered up instantly. Now it makes sense to why the parents are saying messages are deleted. And the whole media and everybody trying to say the parents are lying. The reason why, Tatum. Oh, the reason why, Tatum. What if that rabbit hole, Tatum? What if one of those alleged friends, Tatum, not only was aiding, but abetting in a situation to where other teens could have been using? Think about what I just said to everybody. Think about what I just said. Tatum, if those were his real friends, when he didn't come back the very next morning, why not go find his parents and say, hey, he didn't come back last night. Like, he's not here. Why not? Why be panicked when the father went over there looking for his phone, his keys, and stuff like that? Why? Why lawyer up instantly? Now it makes sense why the parents want all the messages and all the files from everybody undeleted. Are they about to bust a big time drug dealer up that has what we call, ladies and gentlemen, accidental death written all over it, and that has a very responsible persons who may have aided and abetted and given this to those youngins out there, Tatum? Oh, Tatum. The audio doesn't end, everybody, because the audio is not real. The audio was enhanced, and that's not real. That's not his raw, authentic form. That audio was tampered with. That has been reported by forensic experts already. That lady who did that, she's in trouble too. She's gonna be in trouble too. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. See, all these people that have been running around here saying all this shit, they don't even know what they talking about. That's why I told y'all, wait till Ben Crump comes back. Everybody want to jump the gun and act like they know what they talking about, and they don't. See, even though I think Tatum is the lowest of the low, he's Jason Whitlock level to me from just listening to him. But Tatum ain't stupid. He ain't that stupid. Tatum is not willing to risk, because he quit being a police officer to do YouTube and get big money. He's not willing to risk his entire, all of his money, all of his, everything he's worked for over these years, over a lie to say, oh yeah, I was told this and he wasn't told that. Instantly he would be setting himself up for the easiest lawsuit in the world. He ain't that stupid. I do believe he was told that. This dude, he don't have no common sense because he said that those are Nolan's friends. And ain't no way you gonna tell me if Nolan's friends sat down there, allowed somebody to come down there and give them hardcore DRUGSs, right? There ain't no way you're gonna tell me if those people that was around Nolan, if they was, and here's another thing. Let me say this to you guys right now too. See, when this all comes out, the person who he alleged supplied it, oh, he may be charged and arrested as well. See, I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's not uncommon. The lady is not an excuse me. If the lady was an auto engineer, the cops would have been pulled up on her right now. The FBI, everybody would have pinpulled her and yanked on her video. Her video is shit. Period. Her audio is shit. I'm just being honest with y'all. I'm just gonna say what it is. That's why you don't see Ben Crump. That's why everybody's rejecting that shit. That's why it came out yesterday with the report with the forensic expert that shit, that version is the same version that they gave to TMZ. That's shit. It's not about whether she doctored. You can't enhance it. They changed the original audio. It's a different digital footprint than the original. Game over. Game over. You guys are going off a lie, and you'll see it in the end. You'll see it in the end. That's a fucking lie. She sat up there and said, from my perspective. No, we ain't trying to hear your perspective. You said, I believe TMZ. No, I'm not talking about TMZ. TMZ lied. They lied too. That's why TMZ said this cannot be confirmed. The audio is not legit. It's not the original audio. Asshole, like, this is the reason why Ben Crump and them are not even thinking about that audio. If that audio was real, the cops would have went and picked her up. The fans would have went and picked her up, and Ben got everything she got. You think she doing, and I'm not giving my perspective. I'm giving facts. This is not perspective. I'm giving you factual information. Ben Crump's legal team have completely distanced themselves from that specific viral audio enhancement. He's not acknowledging it as real evidence. I told y'all this. And I told y'all the forensic, Ben Crump did not say it's being analyzed. He did not say that. Ben Crump already said, period. And I have it on, bro, y'all can go tell me what I got on the paperwork, nigga. Y'all just love when any black person tell y'all, and they can talk sweet, I enhanced it and did this. I mean, you can't touch no audio. You are not a professional forensic. Yes, I can't. Hold on, time out. Let me say this right here. I'm going to show you right here. She's not a forensic specialist. The only people, listen, I'm going to say this to everybody listening to this video. Have some common sense. If anything that lady said, no, I don't want to bet you. I want to block you. If anything that lady said was true, the feds would have her right now at their front door. She would be with the feds right now. The FBI is a part of this case. How much you want to bet she's never going to be a part of this case? Because the original audio is different from that audio she put out. How do I know? Because it was examined. And it has a different digital footprint. Yes, the woman is stupid enough to jeopardize her job. People on YouTube are stupid enough to do anything. They dummies. You have people on YouTube saying, oh, he murdered him, and they don't know shit. They haven't even waited for the toxicology. They haven't even waited for Ben Crump to come back with his independent investigation. They're doing YouTube investigations. If any of these people were credible, they'd be down in somebody's office right now. The hell is wrong with you people? If any of those people was credible, they would be in somebody's office with the FBI, with the police department right damn now. You think somebody's going to release something like that that's a bombshell and they don't got their ass downtown right now to get all of their software? The hell is wrong with you? The original says nothing like that. I heard the original. The original raw file is nothing like that. What the hell is wrong with you? If she was telling the truth, the FBI would have been ran down on her. They would have went and got all her equipment. She would have been down there and been questioned. To the person who said Nolan will never risk it, I'm not going to say, I'm telling y'all this right now. I'm going to say this right now. I don't like Tatum. I don't think Tatum is lying about what he was told. I think Tatum is lying because he's running around here saying, oh, they were all his friends. Tatum talked to these people for 2 days. How the hell do you know who is who? And I'm going to say it again. I believe that the parents want to see the messages. And I now believe messages were deleted to cover up who provided certain things. I'm just going to tell you the truth. Now I'm understanding what I'm saying. And I'm not being disingenuous. I'm being very genuine. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think now. I truly believe now that the parents want all the deleted messages because guess what? Yeah, this may have been a situation where somebody was serving down there. And not only Nolan, but multiple kids might have been on something down there. And y'all already know all it takes is one bad batch. And you out of here. So I believe, guess what? This is why I don't think they're his friends. Because why would you hold his fucking keys in his phone and then the next day, let's say he does sleep at your house sometimes, but the next day when he didn't come back, why didn't you immediately go to his parents? Why didn't you call his parents? And why didn't you tell his parents that they were down there serving kids DRUGSs? Why not? Why would you tell Tatum but not tell his parents? But you're supposed to be good kids. You ain't good kids if that's the case. And that's why the parents have subpoenaed all of the kids' paperwork now. They've subpoenaed WhatsApp, Telegram, everything. Because the parents are going to find out exactly if something got down there, how it got down there, and how long this shit has been going on. I'm going to say it again. How long it's been going on. Now it makes sense why the parents want all these private messages, why they want all the videos, because you can see if somebody pulled up down there from the car, the parking lot video footage, all of that shit. Watch what I tell you. And the toxicology is going to tell everything. I told you guys that you're talking about 17, 18-year-old kids. They're doing everything out here now. This is why I told y'all, when you don't know people, I would not say nothing. I would not say a word when you don't know people because you never know what these people are doing. That's why I told everybody, you never heard Nolan say a word. You don't know what type of person Nolan is. I don't know what type of person he is. I don't know what type of person those people are around him. So for Tatum to come out and act like, oh, they're all good people, but then at the same time say, oh, well, they were offering everybody the C word down there and only Nolan took it. The other people didn't take it. Well, those aren't his friends. And I'm going to tell you something. If that's the case, because now I'm starting to think, did somebody know the person who sent, and who could the person have been linked with to even go down there? See, that's why I'm telling y'all this investigation is going to get real deep. This investigation, if Tatum is right, it may bust up a DRUG ring. Think about what I just said. Right? So you got a bunch of kids down there, unsupervised, doing God knows what, and Tatum come out talking about they're his friends. Nigga, that's why I said I'll debate that nigga one-on-one any day of the week. That makes it even worse. Because now, let's say that what Tatum heard was true, and Nolan did do that, and he had a bad reaction and went out, and then they left him out there. Is that his friends? Now, what does that do, y'all? That makes them just as liable. Now, you would understand why the people would allegedly want to delete text messages, delete messages. Listen to what I just told y'all. I didn't say the whole recording is fugazi. I said that the enhanced version is not real. It's capped. That's why Ben Crump's legal team is not using it as evidence. Neither is the FBI. It's bullshit. I'm telling y'all this. You cannot tamper with an audio. If that woman had real, let me tell y'all this. Everybody in the world saw that audio. If that audio was real, that woman would be down in the FBI office right now. She wouldn't be online no more. She would be down there in the FBI office a part of this investigation. Why are people so stupid? If she had a breakthrough that changed the whole case, they would have had her ass down in Mississippi right now in the offices. The FBI is involved. Ben Crump and them is involved. They'd already yanked her up and got all of her equipment. They would have got all her information. They would have subpoenaed all that shit already. What's wrong with people on YouTube? Y'all don't know how the law works? If she had something that truly was a breakthrough, hold on, y'all. If she had something that truly was a breakthrough, They would have had her ass down there, man. No question about it. No question about it. She'd have been down there. No question. But for y'all to sit up here and act like, right? What she's saying is just some breakthrough true information. It's a lie. It ain't. It's YouTube cap. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all this. You don't think that Ben Crump whole investigative team, that they would have had the FBI been call her and pulled her up? It's bullshit. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all this. It had a whole digital footprint. Period. No, you're not listening. They would have her down there because she's the one who said she used her software to figure it out. They would have to subpoena her software. They would have already got subpoenas, search warrants, and everything. What the hell is wrong with you people, man? Use your brains. It's sad that people don't understand this. If you solved the open murder case and you claim to have equipment and you did this, they would have went and seized all of her equipment to find out how she enhanced this. They would have had everything down there because that would have been a big breakthrough in the case. Make it make sense. I told y'all this. Y'all don't want to listen to what I'm telling y'all? Y'all come out here and listen to anybody tell you anything on YouTube because they black. It's crazy. Just like this clown. Gonna sit up here talking about something. Oh, they're his friend. Nigga, you don't know them people. It wasn't race. What do you mean? Race been a part of Mississippi forever and a day. Race been a part of Mississippi forever and a day. Race been a part of Mississippi forever and a day. So what is he talking about? What the fuck is he talking about? He's a clown. Period. He's a clown. He's a clown. Period. So nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody want to hear that, man. I'm trying to tell y'all these things, man. You guys have to understand one thing. If somebody had information that could break through the whole case, the FBI is involved. Man, they would have been went and seized all that. I told y'all this. That's why when she put that audio out and that audio spread, they instantly shot that audio down because it had different digital footprints. Period. So to the person who says, do you have proof? Nigga, I have all the proof. I told you this. I told you this. You guys are y'all not understanding that Ben Crump and them have already came out and said, man, there ain't no evidence. That's what y'all don't understand. I don't think people understand this. So now let's go back to what Tatum is saying and why I think the parents have a great point. And I believe that everybody was off on this. See, a lot of people we all thought, okay, somebody just went out and straight did something like hit him or did something crazy. Man, they might have served that boy something. That boy might have had something, man. And that's why I said we should wait for Ben Crump and his legal team. And to the person who said not true, it is true. To the person who said the recording is not evidence, no, the enhanced version is not evidence. The raw version that they already have, that's evidence. The raw version. And in the raw version, you cannot hear any of that. Nobody, let me tell you something. If I give you a raw tape, an average common person cannot do anything to that tape. That is illegal. It's not even going to be used as evidence. And I'm talking about to the audio. It's not even going to be used as evidence. The only thing that's going to be used as evidence is the raw copy. How many times I got to tell y'all this? I come on YouTube and tell y'all this shit every day and people still be ignorant. Because they like how she look. Or she come on and she black and she sound like she educated. The girl said right up there, I don't give a damn what she removed. You can't touch shit. What y'all don't understand about that? If she had any breakthrough, she would be down there in the FBI offices right now. Ben Crump and them would have jumped head over heels to go get her. Y'all believe anything somebody tell y'all on YouTube. Period. Think about what I just said. Think about what I just said. And she literally told y'all, this is my interpretation. That shit don't work in a court of law. Because once again, as I told y'all, right? The original recording and the enhanced version shared by TMZ, which is the same version that TMZ got from that girl, he explained that his team at Page One Inc. first noticed that other version is 20 seconds longer than the original. They then preserved the clips from their original websites and noticed that they had different digital footprints and content. Game over. Y'all don't understand how digital footprints work on audio? Regardless of if you enhance it or not, it does not change the digital footprints. It does not change the time of the audio. So how would a digital footprint changed? Make it make sense. You guys y'all not listening. That's why I'm trying. Everybody on here throwing shit at the wall trying to see if it sticks. On all sides, they all full of shit. If anything she said was credible, she'd be in the FBI office right now. Right now, they would have subpoenaed all of her. Bro, listen, they would have subpoenaed all of her software. She would be an expert witness in this case. Let me say it again. She would be an expert witness in this case because she would have been the person who allegedly busted the case open and did something that the forensic team couldn't even do. And somebody said they would have had their own professionals do it. They didn't do it because they did do it, but it didn't come out like that because it's capped. How many times I got to tell y'all this? Y'all gonna see in the end. And when y'all come back, don't come back talking about, your ticket, you was right, man. Them niggas on social media tell y'all anything, man. They'll tell y'all anything. Y'all believe this shit for clicks and views. The same thing as this dude right here. They were all his friends, man. No, you cannot take the audio call. Ma'am, once again, let me just say something to you. You cannot do anything with a legal raw audio file that's involved in an ongoing investigation. You cannot tamper with it in any way, shape, or form. The only people that can do it is the forensic experts. How many times I got to tell y'all this? She told y'all that's what she did. If they call her ass down at the FBI office, you gonna find out what's real. She better hope they don't call her to the FBI office. That's why I already told y'all. Y'all don't listen. Didn't I tell y'all 2 days ago that Ben Crump and them had already sent out the subpoenas to WhatsApp, Snapchat, and all that? I showed y'all this for a long time. Then the news finally come out yesterday and tell y'all what I've been told y'all. I've been told y'all this. You're not listening. The original audio recording is evidence. But the original is different from what she said she only enhanced. How do I know that? Because the forensic experts have determined that the digital footprints and the content are different from the original audio and the enhanced one. That is impossible unless it was tampered with. That's the point I'm telling y'all. This is why I'm saying this. I don't think people understand this shit. This is why Ben Crump and his legal team as well has completely distanced themselves from that. You don't see Ben Crump and them talking shit about that goddamn audio because they know it's capped. The enhanced audio. They know that enhanced audio is capped. You said, how do we know? Nigga, I'm the only one that comes on YouTube with paperwork. I'm the only one that comes on YouTube with actual files. Once again, let me tell you something. This is an open investigation. If this woman had anything that could bust open this case, the feds would have already been at her front door. They would have subpoenaed all of her paperwork. They would have said, Ben Crump and them team would have already went and got all of her filings. Period. Yeah, I don't think y'all understand how the law works. She would be a star witness in the case because they would have to call her on the stand in a case so she can explain how she enhanced her audio through her software. Make it make sense. the hell is wrong with people on YouTube? You're not listening. The original raw audio was made public, not an enhanced audio. The point is that the enhanced audio is not real. Aspects of that have been added. It has a different digital footprint. Can you not read? What the hell is wrong with people on YouTube? It has a different digital footprint. And it's 20 seconds longer than the original version. I don't think, I'm trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with people on YouTube, man. It makes no sense to me that people on YouTube are going for this. If anybody on YouTube has solved the case, they would be in a police office right now. Lord Jesus, have mercy, man. Lord Jesus, I don't understand this. She would be a star witness. They would have subpoenaed all her information and had her. She would have to go in court. She would be a part of the grand jury and have to go in court and explain in court during a potential trial how she enhanced that audio. She ain't gonna be nowhere near that case because they already know what she put out was bullshit. That's why every network already confirmed that, hey man, this is unconfirmed. She even said it. She didn't even tell y'all, oh yeah, this is authenticated. She told y'all, this is from what I hear, y'all. This is just me. Make it make sense. Right? So let me tell y'all this. You said they're investigating. They're currently investigating right now. What the hell do you think is going on? And with the parents filed, I told y'all, you have to use your brains, ladies and gentlemen. The parents filed something, so this investigation is bigger than what I thought. Because in the filings of the parents, legal filings, I'm not even talking about YouTube bullshit no more. I'm talking about legal filings and the actual subpoenas that the parents filed. They want the circumstances surrounding the death from the July the 2nd to July the 6th. So the parents are looking at things from days before. Days before, you guys. The parents are looking at these things. Days before, right? Why would the parents be looking at days before if that's what happened on that day? You know why? I truly believe now that the parents are on this. They know something behind the scenes we don't know. And I think what the parents know is that there was some things that the parents probably have been told some things too. I believe that. I believe that the parents want to get justice. And I believe, because see, I'm going to tell y'all something. And I'm just being real. Even though I think this guy is full of, you know what, and he lied about race. He lied about, oh, they're his friends. And I can just prove that theory wrong. I don't think Tatum lied about being told that Nolan Wells was given. Because see, right here it says, Brandon Tatum, a YouTuber and former police officer, said he learned from reliable sources that heavy drinking and cocaine allegedly played a role in Nolan Wells' death. He also stressed that the toxicology results will prove if those claims are true. And then it goes on to say this. Let me tell y'all this right here, right? So no, I'm not slow. And you're gonna find out I'm not slow when the real evidence comes out. That they're not, and I told you guys this again, they're not even, bro. They're not even concerned about her, bro. I told you this. Ben Crump and them, she would have already been championed. The only people that are going with that is motherfuckers on YouTube that don't have a brain. This is why I keep trying to tell people. Let me tell y'all something. If you have evidence in an ongoing investigation that the feds, that the independent investigators for Ben Crump and the state are all involved, where all this information has to go to a grand jury, guess what? She will be grand jury too. Period. You said she took the TMZ video. You got to be. No, you're not listening to me, sir. You're not listening, Arnold. Something is mentally wrong with you, brother. What you saying? You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm not agreeing with TMZ. What the hell is wrong with you, dog? I'm not agreeing with TMZ. Sit down and shut up, bro. So as I was saying to you guys, and I'm going to say it again, she would have, let me say this again, she would have already been called up. And let me ask you this. If she had evidence that could have blown open the case, why didn't she go to Ben Crump and them team and give them that information? You know why? Because Ben Crump and them team knows she's shit. That information is full of shit. I told y'all this. You guys are going to see in the end I'm right about this. I promise you this. They're going to get all mad at me now for telling the fucking truth. Ben Crump's legal team has completely distanced themselves from that specific viral audio enhancement. He is not acknowledging them as real evidence. Instead, Crump and the FBI are focusing entirely on official raw data. When she touched or tampered with that audio in any way, it's not official or raw anymore. Because the only people that can do that is the paid professionals. Let me say this again to you guys. I want to say this again to you guys, right? Now, let's get back to what I was saying. To this guy, all right? So this dude right here, right? He's not going to risk everything. And I'm going to say this again. This dude is not going to risk everything from saying that I heard this and I'm going to give the name to the police. That part, I do believe he's telling the truth. Everything else, he's full of shit. And the reason why I say that is because Brandon Tatum saying that, he could lose everything. He can get a lawsuit from the family and lose everything if he's lying. If he can't provide that source and that name that he says that he has, he's done. Now, that's an easy, he would have set himself up for an easy lawsuit. That means he would have quit his police career and he's done because the parents could easily come and sue him. Notice how the parents have not said nothing about what Tatum said. And that's a hard allegation to put on your kid, unless the parents know something we don't know, which is why the parents have subpoenaed records from July the 2nd through July the 6th, all communications. Now, here's what I think. I think at this point, those kids know more than what they're saying. And I think that it was somebody that was bringing DRUGSs down there. I believe that. I believe somebody was bringing that type of thing down there. And I do believe it's very believable that kids at that age was using. But the question is this is the question I have for Brandon Tatum, and this is why I say they're not his friends. Brandon Tatum says, but people are messaging me and telling me that there is heavy drinking and that there's heavy cocaine involved. And there's a particular person. I know this person's name. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first. And then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere with the investigation. First of all, Brandon Tatum he's a liar because he knows that once he gives the cops that name, it does interfere with the investigation. He knows that. He knows that. So he knows he'll never be able to come on the internet and give y'all that name. He knows that. So that's where he's disingenuous right there. Secondly, he says, and then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere with the investigation. But this person allegedly was offering people cocaine, Tatum said in a video he shared on X. He also added that, and someone close to Nolan, one of his friends told me this person was offering cocaine and rejected it from this person. So they're not Nolan's friends. This is why Tatum, his other argument that, oh, those were his real friends. No, they're not. Bro, let me tell you something. I'm not letting nobody get my real friend no hardcore drugs. Period. If that's my real friend, bro, you ain't taking that shit, man. Straight up. And then if that's my real friend and I know he took it and then he doesn't come back home the next day, I'm then not going to go find his parents and tell them what happened. I'm about to go tell his parents exactly what happened. That's what I'm going to do. Hold on, y'all. This chick gonna set my goddamn alarm off, man. Damn. That's exactly what I'm gonna go do. Right? Hold on, y'all. You crazy as hell, man. You got problems. Yeah, it's scary when they got their alarm went off. You was scared of them all. Oh shit. My bad, y'all had to turn off the alarm, man. That girl went outside. And the old girl went outside. She forgot that I set that alarm. That alarm go off. She hate that alarm, man. So as I told you guys, right? And I'm saying this again, right? I'm telling y'all this, man. um, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I believe a lot of those kids know more than what they saying. And I believe, and everybody saying, well, why would they lawyer up? It makes sense now. Think about this. If the kids were actually talking to her, if they actually know the person who was serving or selling, what would that make them, y'all? That would make them culpable, especially if they withheld information from the parents and they delete it. Because guess what? If you're on WhatsApp, if you're on Telegram, if you're on Snapchat, and you're buying or selling or part of any of that, and somebody pops up dead, oh boy, you going to prison. So now it all makes sense. It all makes sense now. Why messages would be deleted, why people would run and go get lawyers, why people would be afraid to talk to the family. Because guess why? You'll be a damn fool if you think Nolan Wells was the only one down there that was allegedly using something. And the toxicology, when that come back, that's why Ben Crump and them said we waiting on the toxicology. I told y'all this is gonna tell everything. So now that's why the parents want all of the messages, because Brandon Tatum talking about they're his friends. No, Tatum. Because what if those friends knew what was going on and withheld that from the parents? Guess what? They're aiding and abetting. What if somebody knew what happened with him and saw that boy maybe going through it and left him, right? And didn't say nothing because they were afraid that they would get caught up in a murder investigation because that boy was using, allegedly. What do you think would happen then? They're going to prison. Mm-hmm. See, this thing finna get real super diabolical. Super diabolical, right? So you better believe. You think, because if he said that, yeah, man, there was a guy down here that was, see, all the truth coming out now. Once they put that reward out, all the truth is gonna come out now, right? Who was down there allegedly giving these kids drugs? Who? Who was giving these youngins drugs down there? Who? Was it a black man, Tatum? Or was it a white man? See, Tatum didn't answer that either. And Tatum didn't answer, was it a friend of one of those people? Think about what I just said to y'all. Think about what I just said, right? I want y'all to think about what I said, right? Boy, this thing. So the parents wanting to get all the messages, and the parents saying there was messages deleted. Of course, there would be messages deleted if there was any kind of incriminating activity going on. Oh, them motherfuckers would have been shitting themselves erasing messages, because you wouldn't want any of that shit linked to you. Because guess what? You can go to prison. Somebody pop up dead. Oh, it's finna get super ugly. So when Tatum says, oh, they were all his friends, that's bullshit. Because you don't let your friends. Because he said, read the second paragraph, that someone close to Nolan, one of his friends, told him the person was offering it and they rejected it. So if the person was offering it and they knew who that person was, guess what? Think about what I just said, y'all. This is why I do believe this part of what Tatum said, but I don't believe that those are his friends at all. Because think about this. They would have to know who that person is in order to give Tatum the name. Think about this. Because if you didn't know who this person was and he just popped up selling, then you wouldn't know his name. Tatum knows who the person's name is. That means they knew who that person's name was. That means that they may have been known this person. Think about what I just said to y'all. It's all gonna come out in those messages. This has all kind of stuff written all over it. I'm telling y'all this right now. And Tatum is a liar, but he ain't lying about this. Tatum ain't stupid. He's a lot of things, but that fool ain't stupid. Tatum is not gonna lie about this and open himself up to that multi-million-dollar lawsuit from them parents. He ain't doing that shit. He ain't that stupid. He ain't that. Tatum played Jason Whitlock games, but he ain't that stupid, bro. I believe Tatum is telling the truth about that part. The part he's lying about is where he's saying all these kids were his friends and they cared about him. Bullshit. Because if they cared about him and they were his friends, first of all, if you knew this guy was coming around selling this stuff, you would have told him, hey, bro, you can't come around here. Because anybody that's my friend, I'm telling motherfucker, hey, bro, you can't come around here with that shit, man. Get from around us, bro. Well, we ain't on that, bro. That's first of all. And second of all, if they were his real friends and he didn't come home the very next day, because y'all say he spent the night with y'all, but he didn't come home. They should have been at his parents' house the very next morning, giving the phone, giving the keys, and trying to find the parents, not the parents come find you and y'all acting like a bunch of weirdos. Point blank, period. Y'all around there acting like a bunch of weirdos and acting all suspicious because let's say what Tatum said was true. Somebody did. So who knew the person? Who called the person and told them to come down? Hey, we're going to be down here. Y'all come on down here, man, and get us right, bro. Oh, shit. What happens if the cops make these other kids take tests? How long does that stuff stay in your system? To see who else was potentially using. Who's the link? You can't know a name if you don't know a person. If you know a name to give Tatum that dude's full name, you had to have known this person some way, shape, or form. Tatum wasn't even thinking about that. When Tatum was saying that dumb shit about, oh, they're his friends, they care about him. No, they don't. Now I believe they don't. Now, since Tatum has said this, I believe they don't. And now I know exactly why the parents want those messages. Because the parents want to know who was in communication with the guy that came down there allegedly with that stuff. And guess what, you guys? A lot of people going to prison because if his friend set that up and that guy went down there, let's just say one of the people down there set it up and called that dude to come down there. That dude came down there and he gave him something, and that's how he lost his life. Oh shit, boy, you have a murder on your hands. You're an accessory to murder. You an accessory to murder. This is why I told y'all. Me personally, I believe foul play was involved. But I always told y'all I couldn't describe how it happened, and I couldn't say specifically who it was. But I always believed foul play was involved. But I left the door open to being accidental. Meaning, when I say foul play, he didn't just die. It's by accident where he just accidentally drowned. Foul play is, oh, somebody served him some stuff. Somebody served him some candy. Oh, well, who called the person and told the person where we gonna be at? Who else was out there? Right? Think about what I'm saying to y'all now. Think about what I'm saying to everybody listening to this video. Right? Peep game now. Peep game. Right? That name, Tatum ain't stupid like that, y'all. Y'all, and I don't like Tatum already. He's on Whitlock levels. He ain't stupid, bro. He's not gonna come out and say I got a name and I'm giving it to the cops, and he ain't got that name. You better believe he got that damn name, because if he don't got that name, he's getting sued and he's gonna lose everything from the parents. He's gonna lose everything. Tatum's the fool because he sat up there and said, "Oh, race doesn't have anything to do with it." Okay, so Tatum, you said that race doesn't have anything to do with it. So Tatum, tell everybody, was it a white dude or was it a black dude that you alleging that served Nolan Wells? Was it a white dude or was it a black dude? You said race ain't involved. Was the white dude, Tatum, was he linked to any of Nolan Wells' alleged friends? Who called him and told him to come down there? Has he already been dealing with these kids? See that, and y'all wonder why they lawyered up. Boy, you a lawyer up too if you knew you had some shit going on. I'm telling y'all this. I believe this is going to get real disgusting. And I believe, I'm going to tell y'all this right now. This was not all sealed. This is Brandon brought this out. This was not sealed nowhere. This information Brandon Tatum put on the internet last night and set the internet on fire. And I remember I came here yesterday morning and I told y'all. And I wasn't even talking about the nose candy. I wasn't talking about that. I was just talking about popping peas and drinking and stuff like that and everything like that because that's what 18-year-olds do. I'm just being honest. I didn't think it was going to be that type of situation. But then when I thought about it, bro, they be doing everything at these parties, bro. You got a party with a whole bunch of, well, I don't, listen, you got a party and Nolan Wells is in the minority. Make you, let's think about it now. He comes up dead. Peep this now. And all of his friends are white. Boy, they scrambling like, scattering like roaches out there. And Mississippi too? Mm-hmm. Why y'all think the parents getting all those messages? Parents are smart. The parents are getting all those messages now because the parents are going to find out how that person got linked into that group. Tatum knows the name. He ain't going to never say the name until after the investigation. I'm telling y'all this. And them kids, they probably know exactly what happened. I'm telling y'all what's going on right now. They probably know exactly what happened. Exactly what happened as far as the next day, when Nolan didn't come back home, they probably already knew. It was like, damn, bro. But they knew they was fucked up, in my opinion, because they knew that the fact that they were out there and some of them may have been on that too. Oh my God. Boy, this thing gets more sinister. It gets more crazy. That lawsuit is going to be stupid. Now it makes sense why the parents sent legal paperwork asking for all the communications from July the 2nd. I don't care about Katie and all that other stuff, y'all. That makes nothing. That don't mean shit to me. What means something to me is who is the guy that Brandon Tatum said that gave the drugs to Nolan? Who is that guy? That's the key to everything. That guy solves the entire case because whoever that guy is, all you have to do is link him to everybody. Because now when you check his phone records, you can check if he was in contact with any of Nolan's friends. Who set him up to come down there? Now, if that's the case, it gets real disgusting. And now it makes sense why messages could have been deleted in Nolan's phone. Because if Nolan was talking with the guy directly and he was linked from somebody else, maybe the friends wanted to get all that out of there so that if Nolan said their name and the messages like, yo, so-and-so sent me to holler at you, bro. I'm telling y'all, this shit fitting to get disgusting, man. It's fitting to get disgusting, bro. It's fitting to get disgusting, my nigga. Tatum he's a clown, but he ain't that stupid to say that and not be able to produce that name. Because if he wasn't, the parents will sue him and he's out of here. He's done. The parents will sue Tatum for everything he's made on YouTube. He's done. That's why I'm telling y'all, he's not lying about that. He got a name, but what he's lying about is if it doesn't interfere with the investigation. Fool, you a cop. You know it interfering with the investigation, so you can't give the name, Tatum. You are a liar. Talking about, if it doesn't interfere with the investigation, I'll tell y'all the name. You a liar. You ain't never going to tell the name. Because you know that it will be directly involved in the investigation. And that's why I would debate Tatum, because I would say, Tatum, and you said from talking to these guys 2 times, you said that they're good people and they were raised right. If they're good people and raised right, why would they be using drugs? If they're good people and they were raised right, why would they allow a friend to use hardcore drugs? Make it make sense, Tatum. If they were his friends and he didn't come back home that night or the next morning, why the hell didn't they go find his parents and take his stuff to his parents and say, hey, man, we don't know what's going on with Nolan. Yesterday we were out there. Somebody came out there. We were using, blah, blah. Why did they do that if they were his friends? Why? Because they ain't his friends. And I'm convinced now that they ain't his friends. I'm convinced now. Toxicology gonna tell everything. When that toxicology comes back, if that toxicology says that boy had that stuff in his system, it's gonna tell y'all this. Everybody was afraid because it wasn't just him. And if you think Nolan was the only one that was out there on, you're out of your mind. And all it takes is one bad batch. That's it. All it takes is not even a bad batch. All it takes is a person to do that who's not, there, you know, one time. A hardcore drug can kill you. Straight up. So this had exactly, Rob Barnes. This have a major conspiracy written all over because here's the reason why. If any of those kids had communications with that guy, that Tatum's name, up until that day, and they didn't say anything, they're part of a criminal conspiracy, meaning to withhold information. Right? See, if you instantly didn't tell the parents, right? And you knew or you aided and abetted, bro, you're toast, man. And getting that guy down there, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, y'all. If one of the friends knew a guy and said, yo, pull up to we're gonna be down here in Horns Island, man. Pull up with that shit for us, man. He comes up with the shit. He's serving people, and somebody dies, guess what? He's going to prison, and so is the person who called him to come down there or linked him up with other people. They're going to prison too. Makes sense why you would erase messages. Makes sense why everybody would act like a fool, would act like they don't know what the hell's going on. Makes sense why. Now the parents want to subpoena all the phone records. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Right? That's why I told everybody, wait till Ben Crump independent toxicology comes back. Because once that's there, it's a lawsuit out of this world. Now, again, you can't say that you can't force him from not, you can't say, I forced him to not take, no. But you can go after all the people that was involved. Whether you aided or abetted, or whether you hindered the investigation, or hindered the parents knowing. Because you're talking about you. So all this, they did it. Bro, that's out the window, bro. I don't think Tatum lied about this part. He lied about a lot of other shit, talking about it ain't race and all this other stuff. Oh, they're trying to interject race into Mrs. No, they're not. Race has already been a part of that for years, bro. And you sitting up here talking about something. It haven't been like that in over decades. You're a liar. I gave you 5 cases in the last 10 years, sir. Tatum. And then talking about some this, that, and the third. Somebody said when the report comes back clean. I'm going to tell you something. If that report comes back clean, Tatum's getting sued. And I don't think Tatum's a dummy. I don't think Tatum's a lot of things. He ain't no dummy. Tatum knows what he be doing. He ain't no dummy, bro. He know what he doing. By Tatum saying, by him being a former cop and saying, I have a name of the guy who he said that was down there supplying drugs, Tatum is telling you he told that to the authorities. He's making that public. So now everybody gonna want to know who's that name. And here's the thing. Why didn't the kids say this from the jump? You know why? A reason why the kids would not have said this from the jump? If either one, they were doing this stuff too, or two, they were one of the ones who helped get that guy down there to bring that stuff down there. Peep now. Peep what I'm telling y'all. Peep what I'm telling you. It's finna get disgusting. This is why the parents have subpoenaed everything. And I said, well, why would they go from July the 2nd all the way to now? They're trying to get all the messages to see if there was something set up to like, yo, in my opinion, the parents are looking at, hey, man, did they set something up to where a guy was going to come down there on the 4th of July and have him right? Is this something that they've been doing before? Boy, all this shit getting investigated. All of this shit getting investigated. No, Tanya, he quit the police force to do YouTube. He was making so much money on YouTube, he quit the police force. And I'm talking about Brandon Tatum. That's why I told you, he's not going to come out about that. He's not going to lie about that and say, I got a name and I did this. He's not gonna lie about that. He ain't gonna lie about that, bro. He's not gonna lie about that because that's an easy lawsuit. The parents can get his ass up out of here instantly. Ben Crump will sue his ass and get his ass out of here if he lied about that. He ain't lying about that. I believe he did give him a name. I believe he did give him a name. The question is, the question everybody should want to know is, what's the name of that person? Whoever that person's name is, they can solve this whole case. Why? Because their communications, when you get their communications, you can find out everybody they was talking to down there. Now you know who all knew about this shit. And now you'll get a full view of what really happened. Right? Think about what I just said, man. Think about what I just said, bro. That's why I told y'all, wait for Ben Crump and them to come back with that toxicology. Wait for them to come back with their investigation, right? Period. Right? But Tatum, for him to say off 2 conversations with them people that they're his friends, that's bullshit, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Ain't no friend of mine. Let me tell you something, bro. I've had friends and I got friends. I'm not letting no friend of mine do no hardcore in front of me, bro. It's not happening, bro. If you're a friend of mine, I'm gonna say, bro, what is you doing, bro? Cut that capping ass shit out, bro. Don't do that, dog. I'm gonna stop you from doing it. And then if you're truly my friend and I couldn't stop you from doing it, and you popped up dead, what's the first thing I'm doing? I'm going to tell your family exactly what happened. I'm not gonna sit up here hiding and got your phone and acting like I don't know what's going on. And if you ain't come back, I'm going to find your parents with your shit. Period. The parents, they know their son, he don't be erasing shit. So why would you erase shit out of his phone? What would he have in his phone? Oh, could have been communications with this certain guy or with some other friends talking about this shit. Now it's going to get disgusting, right? Now it's going to get disgusting, right? Oh, yeah, all it takes is a little bit of that FENT shit, man, and you out of here, bro. That shit can kill you, bro. Just a little dab of that. That's what I'm trying to tell people. These young kids be doing a lot of this shit, bro. People don't be knowing, man. I think it's going to get real disgusting, bro. Because I'm telling you something, man. Just looking at something, bro, I don't like I said before, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all this, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. All these people acting like, oh, this, that, and the third, man. Listen, man. When Crump and them come out with that toxicology and the independent investigation, that's going to blow this whole case wide open. But those are not his friends. You said it's proof of deleted phone records. Oh, the family has already sent subpoenas out yesterday. I told y'all this last night in the video. I don't know if y'all saw the video, but the parents have already last night sent out all kind of legal paperwork to all of these families. They demanded everything, bro. All the phone records, any deleted records. They told them don't delete anything. If you deleted anything, they need everything, bro. I'm telling you, it's getting ready to be a stupid lawsuit, man. I promise y'all this. The lawsuit is fitting to be disgusting, bro. The lawsuit is fitting to be disgusting. And I believe the parents, they know. By now they know. I believe they know, right? And listen, kids do this stuff, but at the same time, bro, the fact that you wouldn't say anything until now lets me know you're not. And I would have told Tatum that to his face. Like, Tatum, if they're his friends, why are they telling you this and didn't tell his parents this from the jump? That's not his friends. I would have told Tatum to his face. Those aren't his friends. Why would his friends tell you the name of the person for you to go tell the cops, but they wouldn't even tell his parents? But those are his friends? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Them ain't his friends, man. Them ain't his friends, man. Them niggas trying to protect themselves, man. Cause if you was doing wrong and you was his real friend, if you was doing wrong and you was his real friend, you'd have went to his parents and said, man, I was doing wrong, man. Straight up, you would have went right to his parents and you'd have told his parents that y'all was out there doing wrong. You would have just had to take that shit. If that was your real friend, them ain't no real motherfucking friends. You gonna tell Tatum, but you ain't gonna tell the parents? And then get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, man. And I'm telling y'all, I don't believe Tatum's lying. That's what I'm telling y'all. I don't think he's lying about that. But he's lying about, oh, they're his friends. Them ain't his friends, man. Nobody gonna hear that shit, bro. And then Tatum, why you ain't ask them, Tatum, if anybody, because you said Tatum said the one boy said that they offered him and that he didn't use. He declined. Why didn't he tell all this to the parents? Why? Make it make sense. Why didn't he tell all this to the parents? See, Tatum don't make no sense. Tatum will think, oh, they'll come talk to me. Why wouldn't they go tell the parents? And Tatum, this is before Ben Crump gets involved. So don't make it like, oh, well, they were scared of what Ben Crump. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about when it first happened, nigga. Before the family went and got Ben Crump. Before all these other people got involved. When Nolan did not show back up, why didn't they go tell the parents what they told you, nigga? They gave you a name. They gave you a name. Excuse me, Robbins, whatever, you don't know Nolan and I don't know Nolan. So you should just be quiet. You've never heard Nolan talk. You don't know him. It's a lot of people who are getting ready to go back to football or the sports that do this shit. How do I know? I played basketball. I played college and professional sports for years. The people do the craziest shit during the season. You think he worried about a test? People won't be worried about that shit. They still do whatever. People gonna do whatever they want to do. I've seen people risk it all doing dumb shit. So, ma'am, you saying that, you're not making no sense, ma'am. This is the one thing people got to understand. You don't know. You've never heard Nolan talk. You don't know his personality. So for you to say that, it don't make no sense. That's why I said for Tatum to say that those are his friends, Tatum ain't never talked to those people. How the fuck do Tatum know who his friends are and who his friends ain't? But I tell you one thing, they not his friends. If they gave Tatum a name of a dude that they said that was selling down there, then and Tatum is not their friend. Tatum is not their friend. Point blank period. Tatum is not their friend. Simple as that. He's not their friend. I mean, excuse me. They're not his friends. If they told Tatum a name of a dude that was selling DRUGSs down there and gave it to Nolan and didn't tell Nolan's parents, they ain't his fucking friends, man. And if I was the parents, I'd sue all their ass, all their fucking parents. Straight up. So for you to say that, ma'am, you don't know what you're talking about, ma'am. Nolan wouldn't do that. You don't even know Nolan. What the fuck is you talking about? See how people come on the internet and say stuff and they don't even know these people? That's why I told y'all, they ain't even never heard Nolan talk. Never heard him say a word. But I told y'all, when that money came out, when motherfuckers started talking about 150, didn't I tell y'all people was gonna start talking? They were gonna start barking. They went and gave Tatum a name, but wouldn't even get a mama and daddy a name. That's not your fucking friends. Period. To the person who said it's a lie, bro, you don't know that, bro. The toxicology ain't came back yet, brother. Toxicology ain't came back yet, brother. And Tatum is not stupid. Tatum is not gonna lie and put himself in a situation where he's gonna lose everything from the parents from a lawsuit. He ain't stupid. I 1,000% believe that Tatum was given that name and that he gave that name to the cops. I believe it. I believe that part. Tatum is lying when he say that they're his friends and that Ben Crump trying to interject race in Mississippi. He's a fucking liar when he say that. But I do believe they gave Tatum that name. Bro, people gonna talk. Once this shit start hitting the fan, they was gonna talk. Everybody was gonna talk. If you think that they was all down there just drinking and there was nothing else going on down there, I told you this yesterday, bro. You're dealing with 18. A lot of y'all don't even know what y'all 18-year-olds are doing. I'm telling you this, bro. They doing everything in this era, man. Look at the music they listening to. The music is telling them, yo, I had that Addy get me off my feet. That Addy kept me on my feet. All they rap about is popping pills, drinking, smoking, right? doing drugs. This is what they rap about. The kids are listening to this, being influenced by this shit. So for you to think, oh, he wouldn't do that, man, you don't know these people. So the person who says 125K, ain't nobody talk. Yes, sir. A lot of people have been talking behind the scenes. Van Crump told you they've been getting damn near 100 calls a day. Everybody gonna start talking for 100 some racks. They just haven't told you what they know. But it all makes sense now. And I believe Tatum was told a name. And that makes me believe even more that those kids ain't right. Because why would those kids tell Tatum a name but not tell Nolan's parents? They not his friends, bro. Them kids in my position was trying to protect themselves. And some of these kids, I believe now, will be arrested. If it's true and it comes back that boy had drugs in his system, I guarantee you it's gonna be multiple arrests. I guarantee it's gonna be multiple arrests. They're gonna get the dude who served, allegedly. They're gonna get whoever else may have been in communications. Watch what I tell y'all. Because for anybody that's a friend of Nolan to know the name of the person, that right there is suspicious. How the fuck can you give Tatum the name, but you couldn't go tell the parents as soon as this shit popped off what really happened? Unless you knew it could potentially link back to you and cause you trouble and charges, right? Or it's either that or you felt like you were afraid and that you were afraid for your life. Oh man, I was afraid for my life, man. He's a gangster, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have, he threatened. Nah, man. And I don't want to believe that. I just think that they weren't his real friends, bro. I don't think, bro, your real friends not gonna let you just, nah, man. Fuck all that, bro. Nah, man. At the least bit, your real friends are gonna tell your parents. The parents should have known first before Tatum. That's how Tatum. That's how you know Tatum is just it's crazy for them to tell Tatum the name before they told the parents, bro. Think about this. Tatum said he know the name, and Tatum said he sent the name to the police. And he said when that toxicology come back, look at that toxicology. Tatum's not gonna say that unless he know he got some real information, and that's why I told y'all the parents saying that shit, man. Or excuse me, the parents, and I'm telling y'all this, right? The parents, them not telling the parents, let y'all know right there. That's why the parents don't trust nobody. And they shouldn't. Because they try to say this is an accidental drowning. Now, what happens if it comes back that boy has something in his system? Now that takes that accidental drowning bullshit out the window. Right? And if you a parent and you know your kid is involved in some bullshit, man, man, think about what I just said to y'all. So this thing could go deeper. This thing could become a complete investigation, DRUG investigation, if that is found in that boy's system. And I believe, hey man, you're not gonna tell me that I don't think that nothing was out there that day. It was too many people out there that was doing shit, bro. What do y'all think that these boys do at these parties? What do y'all think they doing at these parties, yo? Even when your kid is going, that's why y'all I tell y'all always monitor y'all kids. Because even when y'all kids are going to these house parties, what do you think your kids are doing at house parties? They doing everything, bro. They popping pee. They doing everything, bro. They can lie. They doing all this shit, bro. Y'all think they just getting these drugs in the United States and people not using them? So at these parties and shit, bro, they doing all kind of crazy shit, bro. I'm telling you this, bro. I'm telling y'all this. 18, 17 years old, very impressionable ages. That's why I told y'all, nah, it ain't about putting nothing in your drink. It's about you hit, because when you talking about cocaine, we talking about you hitting the line, bro. See what I'm saying? I'm telling you this, man. Yeah, it used to be the pills. Everybody used to be doing that. I'm telling y'all this, right? I'm just being real with y'all, man. Those kids, I'm telling y'all, man, they're disgusting, bro. For Tatum to have a name before the parents, bro, that lets me know right there that's not their friends, bro. For Tatum to know a name before the parents, bro, that's disgusting, my nigga. That's disgusting, bro. Tatum know a name before the parents. Lord Jesus have mercy, man. And now it all makes sense why the parents have subpoenaed all of these different communications. I was just thinking, why would the parents want to subpoena? And why would these kids erase messages? Oh, you erase messages because you would want to erase your link to this person. Those kids are probably shitting bricks now. Dude, I didn't think it was good. I didn't mean that, dude. I didn't freaking. Nah, man. You should have went and took that shit straight to his parents. You should have gave that name to his parents, right? Accessory. And to the person who said he did shit, nah, he's not doing that for likes and clicks. See, you guys got to understand one thing. Tatum is a lot of things. He's not stupid. Tatum knows what he does. He comes and does a Jason Whitlock shit, but Tatum is not lying about that. He's not lying about I got a name and I gave it to the cops. Because he could get sued by the parents and he'd be out of here for making these, even insinuating these type of allegations. Tatum knows that. He ain't that stupid. He knows that. Watch. When the toxicology come back from Ben Crump, I ain't even talking about from Mississippi, from Ben Crump and them, the toxicology will be back in like 1 or 2 weeks. When that comes back, watch what I tell y'all. This whole situation. Now everybody gonna be saying, man, who the fuck? I'm telling you this. And that it's gonna go all the way back, and I'm gonna bring it right back to Tatum's front door. Because Tatum sat up there with a straight face. Tatum sat up there with a straight face, and Tatum said with a straight face, you guys, oh well, those were his friends. Fuck you know they're his friends. How you know they're his friends, Tatum? How you know they're his friends, Tatum? Right? How you know they're his friends? And I would have asked Tatum straight up, is they his friends? Why they telling you the name before they told his parents? His parents should have known the name that very first day. Very first day. The parents should have known the name, buddy. Very first day. No question about it. No question about it. Right? No question about it. Because read it right here, y'all. He says, I know the person's name. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first, and then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere in the investigation. But this person allegedly was offering people. See, he said he was offering people. So Nolan was the only one that took it? Nah, I don't believe that. I believe a lot more people know what's up. I believe a lot more people know what's up down there. And I believe, me personally now, I believe this is going to turn into a conspiracy. And this is the reason why the parents want everybody's communications now, because they want to know who was talking to this guy and how this guy allegedly got this stuff to Nolan Wells. So for people who will say, oh, well, Nolan was about to play football, he wouldn't do that. You don't know Nolan. We don't know what Nolan would have or would not have done. I can tell you a lot of youth that you would think would not have done shit, and they did it, and they're professional or college athletes. Straight up. So I don't know what you're talking about, right? Let's just keep it 100. People ain't never heard a person talk but act like they know this person. You don't know these people. But I do know one thing. If you can give Brandon Tatum a name of a person who was selling drugs down there on Horn Island, and you couldn't give that to the parents, you're not Nolan's friend. You're not Nolan's friend, and in my opinion, you have a guilty conscience. And in my opinion, you need to be investigated. I believe this is going to turn into a big conspiracy. That's what I believe. I believe it's going to be linked to somebody else that was down there around him. Period. No, the toxicology report, you got to understand, it's going to be released to Ben Crump team and to which, because they both did independent autopsies. Remember this. So he's waiting on they get their own toxicology and their own, autopsy report, and so does the state. So Ben Crump and them, they did their own tox. They're just waiting on toxicology. Toxicology usually take 4 to 8 weeks to come back. So once they get back to toxicology, it's going to tell you everything that was in his system. That's why I told people to wait. Everybody on the internet talking all this shit. I said, bro, wait till Ben Crump come out with the evidence, the true evidence, not this shit they telling y'all on the internet, but the true evidence, bro. That's why I told people that, right? They don't want to listen though. They don't want to listen though, man. Trying to tell people these truths, man. You know? Hold on, y'all. Let me So yeah, hey man, I feel like that, bro. Be honest with you guys. I feel like that. Right? You said they're doing the same thing to Nolan they did to George Floyd, trying to blame it. Yeah, that's the thing. And I'm telling you something, I think it's deeper than this. I think that what Tatum said, I think is deeper than that. I want to see, because whoever that person's name is going to tell everything. Because now all the FBI have to do is see who's linked to that guy. They might find out way more shit than what we know, y'all. It may end up being a big conspiracy going on down there. They got busted wide open. Period. You know what I mean? You said I'm talking shit that Officer Tatum didn't lie. No, I'm telling you, listen, Officer Tatum has no reason to lie about that name. And I'm going to tell you why. That name, him saying that puts him in a legal realm. Let me say this to you, brother, Braylon Lee. Him saying a name, everything else Tatum's saying, the parents cannot legally come at him because he's saying, oh, these were good kids and this, that, and the third. They can't sue him for that. But you know what the parents can sue him for? It's saying what he said about that if he ain't right. About having a name of somebody who was down there serving and selling, and that he heard that involved their son. That's a whole different ball game. So, peep how I said what he said. When he says, "Oh, they're trying to interject race and get Ben Crump and interject race," that's sketchy on a lawsuit. Oh, those were his true friends. That's sketchy on a lawsuit. When you start talking about drug usage and alleged this, that, and the third, now that's something that sticks. If he don't got the goods on that and he put that out there, the parents could clearly come out to him on a defamation lawsuit and win. So he's not stupid to put that out there and then say, I got a name and I'm gonna get a name to the cops. Trust me, he did. The question is who was that man name linked to, and why didn't the kids give that to the parents? Why didn't the kids give that to the parents? Right? Right? Listen to what I said to y'all now. Somebody said it sounds like a false narrative. No, it doesn't sound like a false narrative to me. Think about it. 18-year-old kids. I told y'all this yesterday morning before I heard anything about this. 18-year-old kids. I said people probably out there drinking and you know what I'm saying, doing bro, listen, bro, y'all gotta understand these 18-year-old kids are doing a lot of crazy shit, bro. So everybody keeps saying athlete. That shit don't mean nothing. I've seen a lot of people do this stuff, bro. Y'all don't understand. There's a lot of y'all are talking and y'all don't play sports. I've played sports my entire life. High school, elementary, middle school, high school, college, professional. I've seen it all. I've seen my good friend use drugs and lose themselves. I've seen my friends get killed over drug deals that was on our basketball team, star basketball player. I told y'all this. And I told that nigga 1,000 times to stop that shit. He didn't want to listen to me. I couldn't control the nigga outside of his regular life. I've seen all of these things happen, bro. I've seen my friends go to prison that was on the basketball team for selling drugs. Got caught. He got caught because he got shot during, I never forget the day they came into practice telling us he got shot. Everybody was scared as fuck. Some of y'all ladies are naive and you don't know what you're talking about. I've been to all these different type of parties. I know how I roll. You had to make it. I had to make a decision. I made a decision not to use drugs. I tried to convince my friends not to do it. Right? Thank God none of them dropped dead doing it. And I'm talking about during the season. If you only knew. Go look up at how many people get caught using drugs illegal during seasons. That's why I said we need to wait till the toxicology come back from Ben Crump. That's going to tell us everything. I'm telling y'all this. This shit all going on. I don't know why people don't understand this. Right? That's why I said wait for the toxicology. I'm saying I don't think that Tatum is lying about that part. The other shit, he's capped. But that part right there, where he said he got a name, I believe him because I believe those dudes are weasels now. You would tell Tatum the name, but you wouldn't even tell his own parents, which lets me think that you all were somehow complicit. So people that come in here running their mouth saying shit, they don't know what they talking about. How you gonna tell an athlete what athletes do? This is what I do my whole life. My whole life. This is what I do. I've seen it all. I know what those parties are like. For athletes. I played football and basketball. And if anybody in here tells the truth, they'll tell y'all the truth too. They seen the same shit I'm talking about. I've seen my teammates get so fucked up at these parties. We had to carry these motherfuckers out of there. You would think, why in the hell would you do this and you an athlete? Why would you abuse your body and do this shit? I see it all the time. During the season. I'm telling y'all this. They do this shit all the time. People act like this is impossible. No, this is normal activity in the United States of America. Half your celebrities are doing this shit every day. All the motherfuckers in Hollywood, they're doing this shit all the time. All the celebrities you love and respect and shit behind the scenes, what you think they doing? Who you think that all these drugs that's coming to America getting sent to? Somebody buying them. You tell people these truths, they get mad. They don't know. You got old ladies coming here that don't know nothing. I'm telling you this. So it makes total sense to me what he said about that. So, and what I'm saying to y'all is this. Yeah, Len Bias. Len Bias dropped dead before the NBA draft. He was going to go to the NBA and get paid millions of dollars. I'm telling y'all this stuff, man. So what I'm saying is that this makes a lot of sense why the parents are going after all the communications. Why? Because they want to know if these people, think about this. If what Tatum says is true and he gave them a name, think about this, y'all. How did they know that name? How did they know the dude's name unless they know this guy? They be in contact with this guy. How could this guy come talk to them? They had to have known this guy. So now what do? You look at all his communications and who he was communicating with. And if any of those people around Nolan was communicating, setting up shit with this guy, they're toast. Which would explain why people immediately went and lawyered up. Which would explain why they froze up and didn't want to talk to the family. Think about this. To the people who says they didn't kill them, ma'am, you don't know. We don't know. You're saying it's Detroit Gemini. You don't know. You weren't there. I wasn't there. You said stop the nonsense. No, the nonsense comes with you. Because if that toxicology comes back and says he had that in his system, now what are you going to say? What are you going to say if they have all types of other evidence that we haven't seen? This is what happens in investigations. When they come out with all the investigative material, now you start seeing. Think about this. 2 weeks ago, nobody was talking about this shit. Now, once they start putting out those rewards and talk, I knew information was going to start coming out. Period. Right? Let me see something. I want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all something. Hold on, you guys. I want to show y'all something. I just want to show y'all this, right? I want to show y'all something, man. And I want to say this to y'all. And I'm trying to tell y'all this, man. I don't believe none of those kids now, bro. I don't. Now that I've heard this, it makes sense to me, man. I don't believe none of those kids now. At first, I was just like, I don't know them, this, that, the third. I don't trust none of them. And the reason why I say that is because why would you tell Brandon Tatum a name, but you wouldn't tell the parents first? Yeah, they could have already gave the parents a name. So that right there lets me know, right? Right? It's bullshit, man. It's bullshit, man. I knew once that money came out, people was gonna start talking. I knew this shit, bro. 120 something racks. Yeah, man. Yep. I already knew. 100 and something racks. I knew it was up. Right? I knew it was up. But the fact that they gave Tatum a name, bro, like that's fucked up, bro. Before the parents, bro, y'all gonna tell Tatum a name and say all this shit, and y'all didn't even tell the parents that shit, bro. Like I can't respect you. I can't never respect you, bro. I can't never respect you, bro. At all. You're not listening. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's why I'm telling everybody wait on the toxicology. But I'm telling you that Tatum is not gonna say what he said unless he has some real hardcore information, because if not, he's opened himself to a full lawsuit from the family. Right? And I'm gonna tell y'all why they're analyzing that throat. And I'm gonna show y'all this on the screen. Hopefully you guys can see something, ladies and gentlemen. I want y'all to see this, right? I want y'all to see this, right? Hold on. I want y'all to see this. Right? I want y'all to see this. All right. I think it's very important. And I'm gonna put this on the screen. And you guys do your own research, man. I'm not saying that Nolan did this, but I'm also not counting this out. I'm still want to see the toxicology. Toxicology is gonna tell us a whole lot. But the fact that he has a name and he gave them that, bro, that's bullshit, bro. Like, why couldn't they give the parents that name? Like, that lets me know none of these guys are his friends, bro. That really pisses me off because you can give Tatum buck dancing ass a name, but you couldn't give his parents a name. Make it make sense. You can give Tatum a name, but you could not give his parents a name. Make it make sense. Let me show y'all right now. Show y'all what I'm talking about right now. You can give Tatum ass a name, but can't give his parents a name. What type of shit is that? Let me get it to y'all. I want to show y'all something. And now I'm seeing some things too, because I looked this up just now. And I want to put this on the screen for you guys. Just a couple things. All right. First of all, let's start right here. I looked this up just now, you guys. If the C word, we'll just use the C word. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Nose candy, right? The C word, right? I asked, can using the C word affect the throat area? Yes, C word usage, whether did test freebase or applied to oral tissues, can irritate, inflame, damage, or more severely injure the throat, pharynx, larynx, and related upper airway structures. Snorting, right? Residue or residual cocaine mixed with mucus often drips from the nasal passage into the throat, called drip. This commonly causes burning, irritation, sore throat, bitter metallic taste, post-nasal drip sensation, coughing, or discomfort when swallowing. Repeated use can produce more significant problems, including isolated, I can't pronounce that word, uvular and geodema swelling of the uvula that can obstruct the airway and cause sore throat, difficulty swallowing, or breathing issues. Chronic heavy use is linked to, I can't even say that. These can progress beyond the nasal septum to involve hard or soft palate and pharyngeal tissues, potentially causing perforations, oral nasal communication, nasal regurgitation of food, drink, nasal speech, right? Dysphagia and related speech or swallowing difficulties. All right. So they're saying it can affect the throat. So everybody want to know why they're examining the throat? Maybe that's why, right? Maybe that's why. You know. Let me find out this. I want to see something else. Hold on one second, you guys. I want to see if it can cause. Hold on. Hold on. I want to check something real quick, you guys. I want to see something. Just give me 1 second, y'all. I'm looking at something big. I'm looking at something big right now. Hold on. Right? Let me see. Let me see. Right? Hold on. Hmm. Hmm. We have to see, bro. We have to wait and see, man. We have to wait and see. Toxicology gonna tell us everything, bro. A lot, right? Toxicology is gonna tell us a lot, man. You know. But Tatum saying what he said, bro. That toxicology can't come out fast enough, y'all. That toxicology cannot come out fast enough because Tatum says he gave a name to the cops. If Tatum had a name and he got the name from Nolan's alleged friends, they're not his friends. Because why would you give an outsider like Tatum the name first but wouldn't even get that to his own mama and daddy. You're not his friend. I'm sorry, you're not. If that's my friend and that nigga dropped dead, oh, I'm going right to his parents. That's my friend. I'm going right to his parents. Right to his parents. The fact that the next day they didn't go take that phone and those keys, and the fact that the parents said, we know our son, he ain't deleting information, and they're saying what was they felt deleted information, it all makes sense now to me. You find out the name of whoever Tatum has, and you can find out who he's linked to. Exactly. That's my thoughts on it right now. You find out the name of the person Tatum says was down there selling and allegedly gave Nolan this stuff, and you'll find out who he was linked to. Meaning, what friends Nolan had may have been. Because how could Nolan's friends know this guy name if they didn't know that guy? And I want to know how many. Because the friends said they were offering them too. But the friend said, "Oh no, I rejected." What you mean? So you rejected, but you allowed your boy to take it? That you're not his friend. You're not his friend, bro. I'm telling you this, man. And then even if you couldn't stop him from doing, because he's a grown man, 18 years old, he's considered a grown up. You couldn't stop him. You say, man, that man grown. Okay, cool. Why didn't you go to the parents? To the person who asked me how long have I been covering this since the first day it came out. Since the first day that the reports came out. All right. So yeah, I would have a lot of challenges for Tatum. Tatum, I challenge you to a debate, brother, because you said a lot of lies. You said that they trying to interject race in Mississippi, and it hasn't been relevant for over a couple decades. That's a lie. I've already gave you 5 cases last night that's happened in the last 10 years that's linked directly to race. Then you said, well, these are his real friends, and that's a good community down there, and everybody loved Nolan. Okay, so why did they tell you the name and didn't tell their parents? Why did they tell you the name of the alleged drug dealer, but they wouldn't tell his parents? Make it make sense, Tatum. Capper. Make it make sense, Tatum. Why would they tell you the name Tatum, but wouldn't tell his parents? Make it make sense, Tatum. Make it make sense. So no, those are not his real friends. Those are not his real friends, Tatum. Excuse me, ma'am. Uh, it does, sir. You don't know what you're talking about. If the toxicology showed that he had hardcore drugs in his system, they can use that to determine the cause of death, brother. What are you talking about? Toxicology can damn near prove cause of death, brother. What are you talking about? See how these people on the internet don't know nothing, y'all? He just come on here talking and running his mouth. That's why you wait on the toxicology. The toxicology, literally. What the hell is wrong with people? I don't know what's wrong with these people. Hold on, y'all. I don't know what the hell wrong with these people, y'all. Right? These people ain't got no brains, man. It don't make no sense to me whatsoever, bro. Right? Makes no sense to me, man. At all. Right? So to the dude who said that, bro, you're not making no sense, brother. So yes, the toxicology, bro. You know, And matter of fact, when it's a deciding factor, right, it's right up this alley, bro. Right, right. Let me show you what I'm talking about on my screen before I get out of here, bro. And that's to the person that's in the comments that said, "Oh, the toxicology, bro. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. You guys just come on YouTube saying anything, bro. The toxicology in this situation, the toxicology can show everything. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Bro, these people be coming on the internet and don't know what they be talking about, man. Let me show this to y'all right now, bro. Let me show this to you guys. I want to show this to y'all right now. Right? Do y'all see this on y'all screen? Do y'all see this on y'all screen? Right? And again, I told y'all, we don't know Nolan. I told you guys this, right? Right? Right there. When toxicology is the deciding factor. Toxicology becomes a definitive proof of death when a substance is found at lethal concentrations and there are no other physical injuries or natural diseases present. Remember, they couldn't find any bruises on his body that was physical injuries. They only found under his neck, but they couldn't even prove that was murder related because the bruises on his neck. Nolan played football. It could have came from his football helmet. So the fact that Crump and them couldn't even determine from that, that's why the toxicology is very important. Because of the toxicology in this situation, now you look at the ODs, POs. Look at the second word right there. Second word beside ODs, right there. Okay, or mixed drugs. See, I'm trying to tell y'all this. So that's why I tell y'all the toxicology is very important, man. Right? So the toxicology is going to tell you a whole lot, whether or not he had fatal levels inside of him. People just come on the internet saying anything, dog. It don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me. They're going to tell you it's the amount that they had in them, right? If it was there. So, again, but Tatum, the challenge is open, dog, because you told something like you said that those were his friends, but you only talked to them a couple times. How can you know that from just talking to people a couple times? Secondly, you also said that they was trying to interject race in Mississippi. Nigga, I debate you on that any day of the week. Because you told Fox News, you was like, oh, well, there hadn't been that type of situation in decades. That's a lie. Ben Crump literally just defended a family down there, and it was a racist case. So you're lying about that. You're lying about that. You're lying. Once again, right? So the toxicology, as I told y'all, it's gonna tell everything, man. And that's why I said we need to wait for Ben Crump's team to come out, right? Because Tatum, he ain't stupid, bro. He ain't gonna say that and open himself up to a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, bro. Unless he truly got a name that he gave to the cops. Remember, you have to remember this dude was a former police officer, bro. So even though I don't like Tatum from all things I've already seen about him the last couple hours, things I've seen that he said and shit online, because I've been looking at him, this dude is crazy. But that part right there, he ain't gonna say that unless he got a real name, right? You said we don't know Nolan, nigga. We don't know any of these people. That's my point. All the way across the board. Tatum is acting like Nolan's parents and them are bringing race into it. Nigga, how can you say that when you, first of all, you don't know his parents? Second of all, we do know that there has been race involved in Mississippi, right? He's saying that, oh, they're good people and they were all his friends and they cared about. How do you know this? You talked to him 2 days. And then on the other side, people were saying, oh, man, well, Nolan would never do that. How the fuck do you know what Nolan would do and what he wouldn't do? We don't know Nolan. Never heard him talk. You never heard a person talk. How can you say that? So what I'm saying is fair on both sides. So when you say that, talking about we don't know Nolan, nigga, it's true. You don't know Nolan, nigga. Have you ever heard Nolan talk? Have you ever had any conversation with Nolan? Blade Germ, I'm asking you. You ask me what's my angle, nigga. My angle is the truth. And that's all my angle is. The truth, nigga. And the truth is, don't nobody on YouTube know Nolan personally. They don't know what Nolan like to do. They never hung out with Nolan a day in his life. So you can't talk about Nolan in a sense of he would never do that. Motherfucker, you don't know him. Somebody might say you may not never go in a girl raw, and you might be hitting everything raw, nigga. What is you talking about? I swear to God, man, the mentality and the mindset on YouTube be on zero, bro. The hell wrong with these people? He's a former police officer, I believe, from Arkansas. But I don't understand what they're talking about. The throat is not missing. The throat is with Mississippi coroner. What you call it already said that during their presentation. Stop lying. Talking about the throat is missing. The throat is not missing. Ben Crump already told you they know where the throat is. In Arizona, yeah. He already told you he know where the throat is. What is you talking about? You said he could have been a corrupt officer. Well, he doesn't have a corrupt record. I checked his record. He actually quit on good terms. He quit to do YouTube because he was getting too much money off YouTube than he was doing the cop thing. I checked his record, right? Yeah, I want justice for Nolan Wells too. No 18-year-old kid deserves to lose their life like that. Bro, don't spam my chat room. I'm gonna block your ass, bro. We don't play that spamming shit over here, bro. We don't do that, brother. Right? Hold on, you guys. We don't do that, bro. Right? And I want you to know that. Right? Hold on one second, you guys. I want you to know that. Right? So cut the cap. Coming in here talking about something. These motherfuckers acting like they know these people personally. Bro, we don't know none of these people, bro. Straight up. So we have to look at this thing, you know what I'm saying, at face value. Because let's be honest, none of us know what any of these guys were really into, except for, okay, we know he played football. That's about it. Right? Well, Judge Mathis is going off of an audio that is not right. So Judge Mathis again. And Judge Mathis, what is Judge Mathis doing? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not taking what Judge Mathis say at face value. He's not privy to the private information. None of us are. So what he says really don't mean shit at this point. What none of us say mean nothing until they get the actual toxicology, until we get the actual report from Ben Crump's team and from the whole grand jury when they send that shit to a grand jury. None of us will know. None of us will know, right? I want to hear that shit, bro. Yeah. So yeah, I'm telling y'all this. My bad, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just waiting to see what Ben Crump and them come out with the report. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Yeah, I'm just waiting on to see what the report is. Right? So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all feel, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Blessings. But them boys foul. You gave Tatum a name of a guy who allegedly dealt drugs to Nolan before you gave to his parents. You're disgusting. And I never have any respect for them kids, because if that was your friend, you would have never gave that shit to no outsider before you gave it to his parents. That's disgusting to me, man. If that was your real friend, how the fuck you give Tatum a name of a guy who was selling to your friend before you even told the goddamn parents of that boy? I'm gone, man. And then so that proves that Tatum don't know what the hell he talking about when he said, "Oh, they were his friends." You're a liar. I'm gone.
Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.